Hello again, guys. It's Trevor at Heritage Reverse Mortgage. I am a reverse mortgage specialist, and I am super excited about the information that I'm going to be giving you today, as well as in upcoming articles and videos. And so please stick with me through this and the other information that I'm preparing, because I feel it will really benefit you and those that you care about. And so let me ask you this. When I say the name Voldemort, does that cause you any sense of fear inside? Probably not, right? Even if you're a big Harry Potter fan, you're not afraid of a simple name. But what if I say the word recession? Does that cause you any fear? What if I were to tell you that there will be a recession in 2020? Does that cause you anxiety? Now, for most people, the Great Recession of 2008 is still very fresh on their minds. You know, it caused a lot of damages. Many lives were impacted by the recession of 2008. Unemployment, bankruptcy, foreclosures, loss of retirement funds. It was bad. And so I understand why most people are filled with fear to consider that another recession may be possible down the road. Now, I'm not just going to say that a recession is possible down the road. I'm here to tell you that a recession is on our doorsteps. And I don't say this to cause fear in you. I don't want to cause anxiety. I'm giving you this information because I think if you're ready for it, another recession could be one of the best things that could ever happen in your life. And so look at the information I've prepared. I hope it's helpful for you. If you have questions or thoughts or want to discuss this further, I am happy to do so with you. Call me at 435-359-9000 or email me at trevor@heritagehl.com. This first graph you're seeing is the 10-year Treasury versus the 2-year Treasury bond. And the reason I'm showing you this is because it has an interesting correlation with recessions. Now, when you're looking at Treasury bonds, one way to think about this is to associate them with the CD that you would get from your bank. Typically, you would expect that a long-term CD would pay you better than a short-term CD, right? So if you go to the bank today and you get a 5-year CD, you're probably going to get, 2-3%, right? If you do a 6-month CD, you should only get maybe 0.5%, maybe 1% at the very most. But the idea is that shorter-term CDs pay less than longer-term CDs. Now, the Treasury bond is exactly the same, normally. You would imagine that a 10-year Treasury note would pay you better than a 2-year Treasury note. But what this graph is showing you is that there are periods, occasionally, when the 2-year Treasury pays better than the 10-year Treasury. Why would this be? Now, the quick and simple explanation is that the 10-year Treasury bond is really good at predicting inflation. And so what happens is that when an economy is booming, everything's going great, things are selling, people are buying, what happens is that causes prices of things to increase, as you're seeing in the real estate market right now. Homes are selling, so homes values are going up. Now, when we enter a period of slowdown in the economy, then inflation slows down. And the 10-year Treasury note functions off of this inflation. And so what it's saying here, if you're looking at this graph, you can see those areas of the gray horizontal line. Those are recessions. And so in the years leading up to a recession, you can see that the 10-year Treasury note already knows what's coming. It's predicting a recession. That's why its yield plummets, even though the 2-year Treasury note stays higher. Okay, so now this next graph is the unemployment rate. And I posted a comment on Facebook a couple of weeks ago asking people, do you think a recession is coming? And one of the comments that was very, very common was, no way, there's no way a recession is coming. Unemployment is fantastic right now. If there was a recession coming, unemployment would be going up. Now, you're half right, okay? If that's what you believe, you're almost there. Now, what you want to see from this chart is that, yes, there is a correlation between unemployment and recessions, but what you can see is that unemployment reaches its lowest point just as we enter the recession. It doesn't hit its highest point until we exit the recession. And so, as you can see, our unemployment rate today is lower than it's been since 1970. And so, looking at that pattern since 1950, seeing it repeat itself 10 times or whatever it's been, do our low unemployment rates show you that a recession is imminent or that a recession is nowhere in sight? This last graph is one that makes me laugh. Now, this is the Fed's prediction of a recession within the next 12 months. And again, this is historical going back to the mid-'80s. And the idea here is that occasionally the Fed gets together and they each predict, I believe a recession will happen in the next 12 months, or I don't, or blah, blah, blah. And then they publish these numbers. And what you're seeing here is their probability that we will enter another recession in the next 12 months. Now, the current prediction is that we have a 27% chance that we'll enter a recession. Now, that by itself is great, things are good. The Fed doesn't think we're going into a recession, we must not be, right? Okay, but let's look at their track record. If you go back to 1990, that first recession there, 12 months before the recession started, the Fed's prediction was 16%. Fast forward to 2001, 12 months before the 2001 recession, probability 15%. And then go to 2008, the big recession, the one that they should have seen coming. 12 months before the recession, 25% probability. Not only that, but look at this chart. We're in the recession of 2008, and their prediction is only 44% that we'll be in a recession, when we already are in one. And so that gives some perspective on their prediction today that we have a 27% chance of going into recession within the next 12 months. Now, couple that with all of the talks of lowering interest rates, and it's fairly obvious what they really think. The Fed knows where we're going, and this is their way of not freaking everybody out. They can't come out and say, hey, 100% chance of a recession, because then it'd be a real mess, right? This is their way of telling those who understand what they're saying that, yes, we're going into a recession. All right, guys, so thank you again for watching the video through to this point, and I hope this information was helpful. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not trying to cause you any anxiety or fear. More importantly, I'm trying to help you prepare for what's coming. It happens. We go through recessions. Typically, it's every 10 years, and we're 11 years since the last one. So just understand that a recession is here. It is coming. And if you prepare yourself right, and if you take appropriate actions right now, it could be the best thing that's ever happened to you financially. And so as you have questions about this information, talk with your financial planner, talk with people that you trust about it. In relation to mortgages and interest rates and other things that I have an understanding in, I will be publishing additional videos and articles so that you can make the most of these opportunities as they do come up in those areas. And so thank you again for watching, and hopefully we will hear from you soon.